Will this change golf lessons forever? And golfers really, with the tech I'm going to show you from today's visit to Golftec and SkyTrak, same company, which I didn't know, you can only get better. Golfers, you can only get better. This was an amazing trip. Went to Denver in the USA to meet Golftec and SkyTrak. Started off by meeting the owner, look at the tech that's coming. I came away from this visit, absolutely eyes were popping. Golf could change forever with some of the stuff they are doing. Before we get into the video, if you want to win a SkyTrak Plus, hang around further on in the video. You're going to find out what you need to do to enter for your chance to win a SkyTrak Plus launch monitor. Hi, Mark.
Joe Ossel.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Thanks for having me over.
Yeah. How much do you know about us?
I know very little, because Golftec in the UK is not a thing. So I didn't even make the connection at the start between the launch monitor and Golftec.
So yeah, and that's understandable. We just acquired that about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So I'll give you the Golftec side first in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I started it in 1995. I'm a PGA member. 29 years we've been doing this.
Fantastic.
Opened the first location as an experiment.
Yeah.
Can we use a computer to measure a golf swing?
Yeah.
Everything we've done has been based on measurement and data and research. No like golf pros opinion or theory.
Right.
It's always been factual
Love it.
analysis. So
Yeah.
very prehistoric. We probably have a picture somewhere back in the day. But fast forward to today, 263 golf techs. We employ about 1,100 golf pros full time. We're the largest or one of the largest employers of PGA pros in the world.
Yeah.
So we're mainly in the U.S., but we're throughout Canada.
Okay.
And then we have 12 in Japan.
Yeah.
We're in Hong Kong, Singapore, Shenzhen, 2 in Shenzhen, 2 in Singapore.
Fantastic.
Then we're in Dubai, we're in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
So 8 other countries, and more to come. So
Great.
we will get to the UK and we'll get to Australia.
So those places are coaching and custom fitting? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, basically 3 things happen in a golf tech. Number 1 is lessons and coaching.
Okay.
Number 2 is custom club fitting.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of business there.
Yeah.
And then number 3 is what we call practice time, which is our students can come in and hit balls in our bays on all of our technology in between their lessons.
So it's like a membership almost.
Exactly. And so and that is about to get significantly better with quite a bit of enhanced software, so your non-coach time is even more engaging.
Great.
And so we'll give about 2 million lessons this year.
Wow.
As a company. We'll have about 4 million visits because our practice time in visits about equals our number of lessons.
Right. So your background, you are a PGA pro.
I'm a PGA member.
So that's what I am as well. That's my background.
I was a PGA of America Golf Executive of the Year a couple years ago. Various other PGA awards, but I'm a PGA member, but definitely lean. I'm like business wired. Right?
You must be. I can see that. But I mean, I just want to say, like, I'm impressed. That impresses me, as in I'm in that profession, and to meet people like yourself who are doing what you're doing, it's fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. It's a lot of fun.
Lots of them get a little bit stuck sometimes, don't they?
Right,
So absolutely a pleasure to meet you. That's amazing.
It was fair to say I was completely wowzered by the scale of this company, the scale of their training, and their desire to kind of redefine an industry that I've been in all my life in a way where they're combining their own amazing new tech with like some of golf's best minds in business, coaching, technology, to deliver basically something for the student that is only going to ultimately make them better. It was on a scale far bigger than I realised when I first went on this trip. So I got to spend some time with the head of SkyTrak. I asked him about where he thought maybe SkyTrak are going and their ideas about why they bought this company, which was an interesting chat.
It's the #1 selling launch monitor really in its category. Over 90,000 people have bought one. They have it, typically in their home in a setup, something like this. And it was an opportunity for really Golftec to take it outside of our 200 plus centers that we have and actually get into the golfer's home.
Okay.
And once you can do that, you can imagine all the things that you could unlock.
I then wanted to know how important the software was to SkyTrak, as it's an element with lots of the home use and even pro use launch monitors that can sometimes be overlooked. His answer was super interesting.
It's critical. That's really one of the theses for the acquisition was we do have a belief, and I think you've even probably talked about this, is that launch monitors are all starting do the same thing, right? Whether you're paying $20,000 or $4,000, you're starting to see much of the data coming out of it the same. Some are better, some are, some you can use inside, outside, et cetera. But what you really need to unlock is, what is the software doing for you? And that's something we've built up a very good team. We're very focused on what we're doing, and you're starting to see really what I call the fruits of the Golftec mindset built into the software. You're seeing it in the ranges that we're building, you're seeing it in the challenges, and it all really comes through a vision of how do we make golfers better. It's not just hit on a golf course and have fun, but how can we actually make you better? We get up every day here at Golftec and do that, and that now is starting to bleed into what you're seeing, why you're excited about it, right? Is as a good golfer like yourself, you're starting to say, wow, I'm getting better because of this software. So that's where we're putting our money, our effort, our resources is really around that area.
So talk to me about where the software might go. I've seen we've got new courses recently released, new ranges, which are fantastic for people to practice in different ways and be creative and get better. Where else can it go?
Well, we believe right now you're going to see more courses come, and some really famous ones that you've probably played or want to play. And that will be just a constant release cycle. You're going to see challenges, lots of different challenges. One of the things that we think the golfer desires from our research, and we know it through teaching Golftec, is, how can I get better at hitting a draw? Many golfers obviously struggle with a slice. And if you could literally put someone through almost a combine or drills to start to understand how to do that, where the software somewhat gamifies you hitting that draw, we think you're going to get a lot better and improve. And then we do not want to forget about the fun part. We do think that, competing against your friends, potentially having the opportunity to wager, and just keep it exciting. If you really can hit those three things with some other sneak peek things that we'll have coming out, we think we can win.
More to come on the range builder software, because the potential with that is unbelievable. This combination that you kept seeing through Golftec and SkyTrak of technology into real everyday students and trying to make the golfer better was just a constant underlying kind of thread that was holding it all together. I have heard of their Optimotion software. Anyone who watches my channel, you might see me on gear systems where they put markers on me. Optimotion is markerless and delivering similar ideas. So obviously I had to check that out. I really wanted to see that. So they showed me it and I wanted a lesson on it. Just how good is it?
Right, really excited for this. I'm here with Nick Clearwater, and he's going to talk to me about Optimotion. So this is something I'm super interested in. I think it's going to start measuring me. It's a lesson-based system. Well, Nick's going to explain it better than me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
What is Optimotion?
You did great.
Thank
you got the name right. You nailed
that
this.
Was
okay,
a good
so
start.
Optimotion. A lot of golfers have seen marker systems that you can wear and they're tracked by multiple cameras up above. I know you've shown that on your show quite a bit. So one thing that made sense for us with our coaches giving almost 1.8 million lessons every year is if we can eliminate a lot of the wearable stuff you need or the need for all the cameras and just use vision-based computer vision tracking, that gives us a cool product that's different from everyone else. So after spending a lot of time and a lot of money making this, that's what we've created is Optimotion. You've seen it on TV, but it's a way to measure how you could laterally bend yourself left and right, bend yourself forward or backward, which is a dimension of golf that's not talked about enough, and then turning, which of course everyone knows. Then couple that with the translational measurements of moving yourself just toward the target or away from it, in towards the golf ball or away from it, and then how you can actually move yourself up or down. Those are the 6 dimensions of golf instruction that are super critical for people who teach golf for a living to understand really well. Then dispel the simplest words down to the student, get some efficacy out of golf lessons that way. So that's what Optimotion is.
So first thing, Nick, I want to say, which is fantastic. I can see myself on the screen there with the skeleton.
Pretty cool, right?
Well, not wearing the suit. I've done gears. I've used gears on the channel. It is a great system, but you are wearing a suit, and that does. I don't care because I'm pretty free to move. But some people, you can see it's a little bit awkward. And also with the suit, I do wonder if I hit 20 or 30 shots, is that dot where it was started?
They move, absolutely.
Move.
And we're good friends with the Gears folks too. We've had plenty of conversations with them. They've been here. This is just an interesting way to not use the suit, get a similar fidelity. I mean, we're within 5 degrees in the rotational measurements and about a centimeter on the translational measurements of having a really sophisticated, hyper expensive 8 camera system sitting above you with dots on, but the experience is just much easier this way. Nicely
And
done.
also, obviously, we've got it synced up with SkyTrak, so we're not only body, we're going to be looking to be able to get club in there as well, aren't we?
We do both. We'll put both of those up on the user interface here. And then, yes, we're even using the launch monitor itself to sync when the swing has actually occurred.
Yeah.
So all that technology coming together makes for a nice little experience. So here's what we have, or what we're going to look at and discuss here. Shoulder turn. Everybody knows that. You can see that and hear people talk about that every single week on the PGA Tour. And then relative to where you are in the swing, we've color-coded these to compare you to tour players.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that you need to follow exactly what tour players do, but it does give you a good baseline to start from on right or wrong. Because tour players, on average, hit some really awesome shots. So it makes perfect sense that that's your starting barometer. When you do see green, like you do on every single measurement that I have up here, that means you're within a couple degrees or very similar setup position to tour players.
Cool.
And throughout the swing, we can measure that and start to see where you then deviate. And then is that deviation away from tour averages fine? Good?
Yeah.
Is that appropriate, or do you need to be brought a little closer to it, or go even the other way? If someone comes in and slices, the last thing I do is teach them to set up like a tour average player.
Yeah.
I encourage everything I can do to aim their horizontal swing plane, their swing direction to the into out too many degrees to then teach them how to hit a different shot quickly and not waste a bunch of time.
Like it. But I mean, look at that. So that's flagging as yellow because it's close, but it's not close enough.
Yeah, it's just outside
Subject
of that range.
to outcome.
Yeah.
So if that was yellow and I hit target every time,
Who cares?
Doobie-doo.
That's not it.
Yeah.
Like a good player.
but if that's yellow and I said, oh, I can pull a few,
Yeah.
the Golftec pros stood in there going, well, I've got a flag. There's another flag. Two flags, if it repeats, is something that we could try and change and move, isn't it?
Yeah, and your story is really good. You outlined that perfectly, as I'd expect from, because you teach golf all the time. At the top of the swing, you have no issue. If anything, the blue number is reading that you're slightly more towards the target than the tour
So
average.
I should be winning that
Yes,
side.
at that point you're doing great. Now in the downswing, we'd keep watching when your arm's parallel to the ground, when the shaft's parallel to the ground. How is that pattern of movement working, and where do you stop moving towards the target like tour players do?
Yeah.
If that was really a problem.
Yes.
Which I don't think that's really a problem for you, but if that is one thing that is different than tour players on average. So even just measuring your swing and seeing how you compare to tour players is kind of a cool experience. It's hard to get that anywhere.
So just for fun then, let's test it. So I feel like I could move that number on the way down. So I'm going to hit one and try and move that number, and let's see if it picks it up.
Well, if you do it wrong, it's your channel, so your fans can laugh.
I don't do it wrong. It'll be the software if it's not right.
Technical difficulties.
You need an ego button on there as well.
And let's see how you did. How do you think you did?
I reckon I could do better, but let's see.
Okay.
I reckon
you think you
I'm up to, so what was I? Was 1.3 across? Was I?
I'll pull up the swing so you can watch it. 1.6.
So I reckon I'm
believe, was the number.
2.5 to 3 there, at a
Okay.
guess.
So here is swing number 1, hip sway 1.6.
Yeah.
Where this is super valuable is you can see how quickly that comes
Yeah,
up and
that
how
is so
fast we
quick.
can make that comparison.
I love that. I mean, that's instant. That's what I love about that. Like, it's a shot, that's coming up instant. Numbers are being flagged. If I want to choose to move those numbers or not is, so if me and myself, my opinion as a coach, or you and your coach, and then
use it how you want.
The coach in theory would give me a feeling if I didn't have it. I've got my own, obviously, because I coach, so I can move, and we see an instant change.
Yeah, you're highly skilled on that one.
Like, I'm not having to guess. I'm not having to go, because before you put that number up, I was guessing. You heard me. I think it's this.
Optimotion definitely has the potential to change how we coach in a better way for you, the student, and us, the coaches. I am loving this kind of tech at the moment. Then they showed me their fitting process, because they also do fittings, which was, again, the standout thing with the fitting process that I saw. Obviously, I'm not that excited by fitting processes because, like, I've done them for years, and I think if you're an individual pro and you do them well, you can do them as good as anybody. But what was, again, interesting, their use of tech and how they simplified everything, definitely to make the user experience not overwhelming and baffling, but then at the same time they're not removing that professional skill, which I do love to see. So Range Builder was basically a system that allowed them to build a custom range in front of me, like right in front of my eyes, within minutes. You could put trees in the way. They were able to put rings in the way to try and get us to, or get me to hit balls at different heights from 45 yards. So just think about that with practice. It's going to change the way you practice. These ranges can be at the moment developed by them, possibly in the future developed by users, certainly at some point, hopefully developed by coaches for students, which then might be able to be bought by SkyTrak users.
custom ranges for the person that needs them, the coach who wants to get people to work on different shot shapes, putting different targets in the way, setting out different greens at different lengths, at different sizes, relevant to maybe your scoring average or your proximities. Like, basically, it's endless what they could do with this system. Watching them build a range on a sim in front of our eyes was unbelievable, and the possibilities of where this could go are completely untapped. This was so impressive. There we go. Let me know what you think. I definitely came away from this visit enlightened with the size and scale that they're coaching and improving golfers at, and the chance for golfers to get better, and their desire to use software and hardware to try and make sure you become the best golfer you can was riddled through everything they do, which is why I love this, seeing some of that tech. Optimotion is so cool. Markerless capture is where it's heading fast. This could definitely change golf lessons forever. Competition time. If you want to win a SkyTrak Plus, all you need to do is you need to like this video, share it with a friend. You also need to sign up for my newsletter, free weekly newsletter tips, which is in the description down below. Link for that down below. If you are signed up for my newsletter and you like this video, you are entered for a SkyTrak Plus giveaway. We're giving one of these away. And if you're not subscribed to the channel already, subscribe to that as well. You've got more of a chance of winning.